I'm working on my forearm strength, and I wanted to test whether or not rice could improve my dead hang time and grow my forearms. For a whole month, I trained in the rice bucket every single day, and at the end of the month, I measured to see whether or not this transformed my forearms. Okay, so it's March 2nd, and today is going to be day one of the rice bucket training challenge thing. And we're going to start off by measuring our forearms as well as our grip strength using my hoop here. So let's get into it.
25.
24 and a half?
24 and a half.
Just shy of 24 and a half.
Ready? Go.
So this rice bucket training thing is not something that I just randomly came up with. It's actually an ancient technique used by monks and martial artists, and today it's touted as a great way to improve your grip strength and your forearm strength. I just happened across it one day and I was really intrigued because I really want to improve my grip strength. And I know my grip strength already is not too bad. Actually, it's pretty good. But I really enjoy practicing on aerial hoop, and grip is really important for that. And so this training seemed like a pretty easy way to get some extra forearm training in, working muscles in a way that I don't usually work them. Definitely not a bad time for day one, so I'm excited to see whether or not the rice can help me at all. In terms of equipment, this is a great method because all you need is rice and a bucket, and you can find that pretty much anywhere. Now, it has already been a month of training, so I just wanted to go over what I've done for the past 4 weeks for my training. To keep things simple, I've done 10 minutes a day and sort of rotated through different exercises in the rice bucket just while watching TV. So let's get into those exercises, and I'll show you a zoomed in version somewhere up top. First exercise is splaying the fingers away as fast as you can. I basically do that until I can't do it anymore. And next I will make a sort of revving engine motion, alternating hands. Basically I just do an exercise as fast as I can for as long as I can, and then I move on to the next exercise. Next I'm going to rotate my fingers inwards. And then I'll do rotations with the wrists one direction. And then as best as I can, I'll do rotations the other direction, but for some reason it's always more difficult going the opposite direction. And at this point, my wrists get a little bit tired, and I find that the thumbs are a bit lacking in the exercises that I've chosen, so I'll just rotate the thumbs in the rice as well. I'll also do a little fish motion down into the rice with my fingers. And the last exercise I'll cycle through is just a clenched fist. I'll basically clench as hard as I can until the rice sort of pops in my hands. Now, the first couple days that I tried doing this, I did do a follow-along video, but personally I found that a little bit too tedious to do consistently day after day, so that's why I decided to just go with the 10 minutes of cycling through these various exercises. But if you want a full tutorial, I'll link the one that I'd recommend down in the description below. One thing that I did find with the rice training was it was a little bit hard to scale up or progressively overload. The only way to really do this with the rice bucket is to either increase your time training or to do the movements faster. In comparison, you can just add weight if you're using dumbbells or use a heavier resistance if you're using grippers. One thing that I really liked about the rice bucket training is the ability to work your extenders. So the flicking out motion of the fingers is hard to train with traditional sort of grippers or weights or things like that. Yeah, so that blur is not for cinematic effect. Unfortunately, it's just an effect of me not knowing how to use my camera. At At this point, several weeks have already passed, so I can't redo the footage, and I noticed this really late, so I'm sorry about that. And I forgot to film this part, but I did measure my forearms as well, and I increased by about 1 centimeter on each side. However, I don't know if the measurement was taken at exactly the same spot, and more importantly than that, the 30-day measurement was taken after I had already done this hang time test. So I think that could actually skew it because I have a bit of a pump to my forearms, so they would be bigger. So overall, it's not a very significant difference. And yeah, at the end here, I did decide to start showing off. I knew I'd already beaten my day one, and I added nearly 20 seconds to my hang, so I was quite happy at this point. So I definitely saw some improvement in my hang time, but I don't remember what my forearm measurement was yet, so I'm not sure if there was improvement there. So if you're looking to improve your grip strength for aerial or silks or even rock climbing, I could see this being very useful, so I would definitely recommend giving it a try. However, my boyfriend, who was also training alongside me, decided to give up on this challenge, unfortunately. His main issue with hang time was not so much the strength of the forearms, but more so the skin tenderness. So it's important to know where your weak points are so you can target your training for that. No matter how much forearm training he does, it's not going to help with the tenderness of his skin. For me, however, my main weak point was my forearms. I was feeling that give out first. So this did improve it in that regard. And just one other thing that I also wanted to mention. I haven't been training in a vacuum. I've also been training on the hoop. So I don't know if I can fully attribute my results to just the rice bucket training. Some of that improvement is also going to come from my regular training on the hoop. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!